Aloha, everyone, and another level living wind. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Freedom Fridays. So happy that you're here because we're in store for an amazing special treat today. We have a fabulous special guest who's going to be sharing with us about how to leverage podcast guesting to amplify authority and grow revenue. So, first of all, before I introduce her, I want to let you know what is the purpose of this show. The purpose of the Freedom Friday show is to support you as an entrepreneur in achieving your success in business and life harmony, because it really is two sides of the same coin. We never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life. And it is possible to work smarter, stress less, strengthen our relationships, lead with much more energy, ease, and momentum so that we can increase our calm, our confidence, and our cash and client flow. So happy that you're here. Let's give a warm welcome to our special guest today, Christelle Biiga. Christelle, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. And yes, I love what you mentioned about the purpose of your show, about, having a life beside the business. And it's really in alignment with what I do because that's exactly why I offer a done for you service so that people can live their life and not worry about, figuring out all the things. So yeah,
I so
yeah.
love that. Because it is about teamwork making the dream work, right? It's prosperity powered by partnership. And we can't do all the things. So when we're able to delegate out and have some amazing service that you provide, that just frees up space for us to be able to do even more awesome things that we do in our business, right?
Absolutely.
Well, let
Yes.
me let them know who you are, okay? So Christelle Biiga is the founder of Exposure Maven, a done-for-you podcasting booking agency that helps coaches, consultants, and thought leaders secure guaranteed placements on aligned top-tier podcasts and shows them how to turn in each booking into collaborations and sales. After moving to the US alone and overcoming a 9-month detention battle that ultimately she won, Christelle rebuilt her life with one mission: to help heart center leaders shine brighter and make an impact that they are here to make. She's trained with mentors like Bob Proctor and Mary Morrissey before launching her own coaching business, where she discovered the transformative power of podcast guesting and build authority and demand fast. What started as a necessity became a proven system. And today, Christelle and her team position high achieving coaches and entrepreneurs on aligned top tiered podcasts that build authority, create demand, and generate premium clients without burnout or constant client connection or content creation. Oh my goodness, I love this, Christelle. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for your service to the world.
I'm,
You
I'm
know,
really happy.
if we don't share our message, we become the world's best kept secret. So you being able to support people and sharing their message, making more of an impact and influence is something that's so powerful. So,
Yeah, I'm happy to do that because, yes, as you just said, being the best kept secret is not great because so many or too many people are doing great things out there and not enough people know about it. And the more people know about the magic that you bring to the world, the more life you can change. So that's why I'm really excited about what I do because I think I'm that bridge, putting you in front of the people who need what you have.
oh my goodness, I love this. I love this. So we're here talking about how to leverage podcast guesting to amplify authority and grow revenue. From your perspective, can you share with us why is this something that's so important, especially for those of us who are entrepreneurs?
It's really, really important because, as I just said, if people don't know about what you do, how many people can you actually help? Being the best kept secret is not something that is good because one thing about entrepreneurs is that we want to make a difference. We are problem solvers. We want to help. That's why we start a business, whatever the business is. We have a solution for a problem that we know people are struggling with. So when you have that, you launch your coaching business because you know you help people with their mindset, with their business, with their strategy, whatever it is that you provide. The more people know about how you help, the more chances you have to change those lives. So this is really important for you to be out there. How do people know? How do people find out, right? They have to hear you somewhere. For example, your show has a specific audience, people who want to build successful businesses but don't want to lose their lives in the process. So they come to your show because they know they will hear experts who will help them do achieve just that. So if you are that expert, you're listening to this show right now, and you are that expert that know, hey, I'm sure if the listeners of Dr. Heather's show hear what I have to say, they will be so glad they found me. So if you are not on this show, how will those people find you? How does that audience going to know about you? So it's important for you to be in the right places too, because that's something that we're going to touch on during this conversation. Yes, putting yourself out there is one thing, but you don't just want to do it for the sake of it. You want to be strategic and intentional about it. So podcast guesting is a strategy that is so powerful because it lasts for years. I can't tell you how many times I have had people reach out to me on social media and tell me about a show that I recorded probably in 2020. I don't remember the name of the show, but they remember. They just heard it, right? So that's the power of podcast guesting. If you really want to put yourself out there strategically, you want to add podcast guesting to your strategy because your interview, your conversation will be heard for years to come. How long does a social media post stay up there? We don't know because it goes up every day and disappears. It's there. Your account is still there, but people will not see your post from 5 years ago. But your interview on a podcast, people can find it 6 years, 10 years down the line, as long as that interview is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever. So that's why you really want to be on this type of platforms, podcast guesting, because your message will be heard not just in the moment, but for years to come. And if you are out there trying to make an impact, leave a legacy, you want to be on podcast.
Oh my goodness, I love that. And I appreciate you sharing it because honestly, the part that you had mentioned about how podcast guesting is timeless. Like it's one of the things we had a great conversation. We're talking about summits versus podcasts. Well, summits are great, they're short-lived, but like you had just mentioned, people can be able to find you on a podcast so many years from now and still be able to connect to the message, even if you don't even remember speaking about the topic.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the questions that's coming to me, or what are some of the challenges or like the common things that maybe you've encountered that kind of prevent people from actually taking this route, like and actually being more visible and being on podcasts? Like what are some of the common challenges and pain points that you've seen in your line of work?
Time. Time is one of the key element because it
Mm.
takes time really to be strategic about podcast guesting. Sometimes people say, yeah, I get invited, but that's random. That's not a strategy. But if you want to be intentional and strategic about it, you have to dedicate time to do this. That's why sometimes people don't do it because who need one more thing to do in their business? I don't, right?
Mm.
So they don't have time to research the shows because sometimes you want to ensure that the show is in alignment with your brand, with your vision, with your mission, and that the audience is in alignment with the audience that you serve. So it's not about just being on a podcast for the sake of it. You want to be intentional for you to see results for your business. So the time to research shows to ensure that those are the right shows. Time to research to ensure that those shows actually have an audience because let's face it, everybody nowadays has a podcast. But how many shows actually have an audience? Not many. So that's why you want to also be intentional about checking and ensuring that, okay, when I get on that show, the description looks like we are in alignment in terms of vision, but do they have an audience? Because I want to reach people who need what I have to offer. You research that part as well. And then once you do that, you want to reach out to the host and pitch and let them know why they need to have you on their show, why their audience will benefit from having you. You pitch, and then again, remember the podcast hosts have a lot of pitches coming through. You have to follow up because hey, they might forget or your email can never make it to the top of their inbox. Things happen. You have to follow up. So all of the things that I'm mentioning take time. So when you're a successful coach, you already have a client list to serve. You have other things going on in your personal life. So this becomes one more thing for you to do. So people keep saying, I'll do it. Yeah, I know this is something I need to do, but one day, down the line, at some point, I know it's important for me to be there to promote my book, to promote my coaching program, but I don't have the bandwidth. I just don't have time. And that's why Done
Mm.
For You is so good because you don't have to worry about any of it. You just show up, deliver your message, and go back to your life. That's
I
it.
love that. I love that. I appreciate you sharing because it's really like you're in it, you and your team are an extension of the team of the business, right? So therefore
Absolutely.
it covers a big piece of that time restraint. Is there
Mhm.
any other like challenges or limitations or pain points that people have when it comes to them even thinking about podcast guesting and to amplify their authority and grow their revenue?
Yeah, sometimes people they don't see it, but it happens. Sometimes people think just being able to have a conversation makes you really a great guest. You have to be strategic, right? So one
Mm.
of the thing that they face, they don't understand why it's happening, is that they pitch and they don't get picked. The reason is when they pitch, they don't focus on the audience. Remember, Dr. Heather, I know you are doing this show to help your listeners. That's your intention. So when they come listen to the conversations you're having here, they know that you care about giving them something valuable. So when someone sends you a pitch, you care about what is in it for your listeners. You care about
Yes.
how it's going to help your audience. So when someone pitches you just to tell you how amazing they are, how fabulous they are, you don't care. Your listeners don't care. If I come here and just tell them that I'm wonderful, they don't care. They care to know what I'm telling them that can help them. Like, for example, when you pitch a podcast host, you want to focus on what is in it for the listeners, what is in it for their subscribers. That's what you lead with in your pitch, and that's what will make the podcast host say, yes, I want you on because I want that for my listeners. That's one thing. The other thing is, it's not about just going there having a great conversation. Oh, I can talk all day long. I know I'm going to be a great podcast guest. No, it's not about chit chatting. Nobody sits here. Nobody listen. If you're listening, message Dr. Heather or me and tell us if you just came here because you wanted to hear two people chit chat. No, you came here to learn something. So I hope so far I've given you a few things that made it worth your time to listen. So when you go on a podcast as a guest, don't go there because, yeah, I'm a great talker. No. What are you going to deliver? What are you going to give the listeners? What will make you remembered by them, even if they forget your name? I know my name is not an American name. Maybe people may not remember it, but I hope they will remember a few things that will help them be great podcast guests. Go there with specific things that you want the listeners to take away. What
Oh,
can they implement
yes.
right away that will help? For example, what I said right now about pitching can help you change the way you pitch to get booked. What I mentioned right now about being intentional about shows that you even pitch can help you save yourself pain to be on a show and wondering what am I even doing here. You will research the right shows and pitch the right shows the right way to get yeses, right? So that's what you want to think about when you want to be on podcast. Stop saying, "Oh, I'm a great talker." Nobody cares. You
Oh,
want to
I
go
love
there as
that.
the expert that you are and deliver valuable information.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. So these first tips and strategies that you shared are so powerful. What other tips or strategies do you have for us that can support us in leveraging podcast guesting to amplify our authority and grow our revenue based on your experience?
The main thing, because when we're talking about all the, getting on the right podcast, that definitely amplifies your authority because who you associate with is important for your brand, for your business, for your, if you want to be visible, you want to be seen in the right place, right? You don't want to be
Yes.
seen in the places where people will question him, like, what? What is she doing there? No. You want to be seen on platforms that will add your credibility in people's mind. Perception is everything, right? Perception is not reality, but in people's minds, it is. If they see you with the right people, people that are respected, they respect you. That's why you want to research and be on the right shows that will elevate your brand, that will elevate your message. First piece, we spoke about it, researching shows. Now, that's what happens. It amplifies your authority because even your audience that will know that you were on a great show, maybe they were just following you because they are cat lovers, you are cat lovers. Now, all of a sudden, you take a different space in their brain. Now they think, oh, wow, she was on that show. Hmm, maybe I should pay attention to what she does actually, beyond having a
Yes.
cat,
Oh,
right?
she's a cat expert.
Yeah. Yes. So that's why you want to be on top tier shows. It's not just vanity to be on top tier shows. It's strategy. You want to be seen with people that are respected in what they do. That's what makes you respected as well. Because when I come and say I'm the expert, it lands differently than when a host that has a large audience, that has a top show, introduces me to their listeners and say, this is the expert on so and so. Now the
Yes.
listeners, I have their attention because they trust you, they have a relationship with you. That's how your authority starts being amplified by, in front of new audiences that you didn't even have to build.
I love that. Oh my
Because
goodness.
audiences, we
So
know we
good.
need to build an audience to be able to promote our services to that audience. But when you get on other people's podcasts, you leverage their audience that without having to build it, and you can now be known by new people, new clients. And let's talk about the revenue piece of it.
Okay, yeah,
Sometimes
let's talk about the
people,
revenue piece.
yes, it's important. We're talking about business, right? So we need to make money. So when you think about podcast guesting, I want you to pay attention to your thought process in terms of how it's going to lead to money into your business. Oftentimes, people think, oh, when the an interview will air, and then listeners will hear about, my expertise, they will probably download my gift, which I have a gift for your listeners today, a great gift. So I hope they
Yay.
stay till the end to hear more about it. So they think hopefully I will have a few downloads or a lot of downloads, and then after that I will have clients. So they wait for the interview to be released, which means that they are missing out on so many opportunities before that to make money. The first conversation that we had, Dr. Heather, because I love to always showcase myself because I drink my own medicine. I offered you an opportunity to collaborate, right? That's what you need to do with any booking that you have. Anytime a podcast host says yes to having you on their show, you already have an opportunity to leverage that collaboration to make money. You can create a program together if you have an audience that, your services aligned. You can create something in common. You can become referral partners. You can become affiliate partners. There are so many ways that you can already start creating revenue before even the interview airs,
Oh
before
my
even
goodness.
the
So
conversation
good.
happens.
So good. So good. Because
Yeah.
it's so beautiful. It's like being able to utilize the fullness of the opportunity, not
Mhm.
just waiting for the show to air, but also being able to leverage and grow a collaboration and possibility of joint venture and referral partners. That's just so powerful. And it doesn't even have, it's like almost, I feel like it's just the beginning of the revenue possibilities
Mhm.
on collaboration. Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
That's what I'm saying. This podcast guesting is really a powerful way to amplify authority and grow your revenue. It
Nice.
is.
And you were sharing with us about this free gift. Like, how can we continue this journey with you? Do you have a free gift that you can be able to share with us?
Of course I do. I will not come here without a gift. Of course I do.
Yay.
And my gift is really the first step. If you are new into podcast guesting, is something that you want to do and you want to test the water, you're not ready to say, okay, Christelle, do it for me. I have the perfect first step for you. My podcast guesting playbook allows you to understand exactly what podcast guesting is all about, shows you how to research the right shows for you, give you even places where you can research those shows, has a list of 100 plus top tier shows in different niches that you can start from there, start researching from that list with the shows that are in alignment with your audience, with your message, and then start pitching. And to help you even in that process of pitching, I have added a pitch kit in there with an AI
Cute.
agent that helps you write pitches effectively to get yeses. And you have a tracking sheet that allows you to stay on top of your pitching and not miss out on follow-ups and all the things. So, I mean, it's a mind goal, really. Go
Oh
there
my
and download it
goodness.
right now. I usually sell it for $27, but for your audience today, it's going to be free with the code authority. So
Oh
when
my
they can download
goodness.
it for free and start there. I'm sure they will hit the ground running with podcast guesting and will do it more effectively for sure.
Christelle, what a beautiful and valuable gift for you to share with us today. So, everyone, the link is in the show notes. Go ahead and click on Christelle's link. Get that amazing playbook. I can't wait to get my copy. And then also make sure you connect with her on social media and everything. Stay connected. Christelle, thank you so much for this amazing wisdom today. Based on everything that you shared with us, what would be the biggest takeaway that you want to leave us with today?
The biggest takeaway that I want to leave you with today is that remember why you started your business. And if in any of the reasons why you started your business, making an impact was one of the reasons, get on podcast. Get on podcast and start making the impact. Get on podcast and start reaching thousands of people, because what people don't realize is that we see those big speakers in the stadium with thousands of people in the crowd. We think it's so impossible for us to achieve, but when you're a podcast guest, you can be speaking to thousands of people. Right now we're
So
having a
good.
conversation, just the two of us on Zoom, but this episode can be heard by, let's say, 1,000 people. Can you imagine being on stage with 1,000 people in the audience? That's huge. So if you have in your heart to make a difference, to make an impact, definitely getting on podcast is the best way to do that.
Oh my goodness. Yes, ma'am, Christelle. Thank you so much for being able to share this wisdom. Everyone who's listening, we also want to hear your biggest takeaway. So go ahead and put your biggest takeaway from Christelle's wisdom in the comments below. We want to hear your wisdom too. And also, sharing is caring. And if you were given this gift of leveraging podcasts to amplify your authority and grow your revenue, go ahead and share this message out to your world to give someone else that powerful gift and amazing free gift that Christelle has offered us today. Christelle, we are so grateful for you being here and sharing your wisdom from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for sharing all and for all that you do. And we're just so grateful to stay connected with you. We just love and appreciate you here at Another Level Living for sure.
Thank you so, so much for having me. And I want to take a second to say thank you for all of you listening, for taking the time to spend this, 30 minutes together. I know time is precious. I know there is a lot going on. For you to spend this time with us, I appreciate you. I hope you found this conversation valuable. And as Dr. Heather was saying, let us know what was valuable, what was your biggest takeaway. And if you enjoy the freebie, I want to know. I want to know exactly how it has helped you and how many shows you have been booking. Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, this is so good. Everyone, take action on all the wisdom. Get that free gift. Go ahead and share this message out. Share with us your biggest takeaway. Let this message marinate into your mind, body, heart, and soul from this point on and beyond. And we look forward to seeing you again next Friday for another episode. And have an amazing rest of the day. Bye, everyone.